Alright guys, thanks for joining me on another episode of Off Axis Builds. I got a carburetor leak on my CRF 150. It's a 2003 CRF. Went to go to start it the other weekend to get it ready to go riding the next day with my son. And the unfortunate thing is I had some fuel leak in the carburetor. I'll get down there and show you that. Turns out it was just the washer underneath there. So we're going to open it up, replace that washer, and maybe do a little bit more of a rebuild kit on this carburetor. I'll show you guys how to do that. I got this kit for about 18 bucks off Amazon, guys. I'll put a link down below. Wasn't too bad. I was actually looking at getting a new carburetor at some point, but this will do the job. Just got to rebuild it, guys. So for 18 bucks, I didn't have to spend 200 bucks on a new carburetor. Pretty simple, guys. Let's go ahead and show you what the problem is and get going. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me on another episode. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Remember to check out my merch down below. I got a link down below for that. Got some new hats, got some beanies, got some shirts, sweatshirts. Got a bunch of different stuff, even a mask, guys. So check it out. Let's get into it. All right. Alright guys, so I was getting the bike and the quad ready to go riding a couple weekends back. Charging up my son's quad. I wanted to start this thing because I hadn't started in a few weeks. And just wanted to see how it ran. Went to go start it. It did the normal thing where fuel would come out the drain line. I've been meaning to fix that, and I'll show you what the fix is for that here when I tear it down, okay? But the main problem here, I was getting a fuel leak right there. That gasket went bad, okay? And now it wouldn't be a problem except I got the exhaust line right below it. So we didn't want to be taking this thing out, catching flames and burning up like that, guys. So easiest thing to do is get a rebuild kit, right? $18 rebuild kit, why not? First thing you got to do to remove that guy, got to get the Phillips loose, okay? So we're just going to go ahead and loosen that guy up, okay? Pull that guy off. Maybe I need a little bit more. There we go. So just kind of tug on it, do what you got to do to pull it off, okay? All right. Secondly, you have a 10 millimeter nut on this side and one on the other side, okay? Let's go ahead and get that guy off. Don't want to lose a screw there or nut there. There we go. All right, so we're going to come to the other side. All right, so we're going to come to the other side. And you got one screw on this side. Up underneath there. Not too hard to find because it's directly across that other one. Okay, so you have, on the top of this, you have your throttle cable coming in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove that. But first, we want to pull this carburetor off. Look at this. Pull it straight off like that. Okay, pull this tube out. Okay, now, this is the point where you want to make sure your fuel is off from the gas tank so it doesn't just keep leaking, okay? Simple enough to do. Flip that little valve on your gas tank, okay? Look at all that oil. Not oil, but gas. Okay. Trying to remember what direction it is. Here it is. All right, so you're gonna want to get your main gas hose off. There may be a clip on it. This looks like there's not on this one. It's up underneath there. Just pry it off. And that's the one where you're gonna see if you turn your gas tank off or not, okay? So you wanna get that one off. And then there's another one right in here that you're gonna need to get off as well. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pinch that. Slide that little bracket, I'll show you when we pull it off, up. And then you're gonna slide that hose off. Okay, so now that you have it free, take your throttle cable off, and all you need to do is turn this guy, okay? Lefty loosey, righty tighty, right? Okay, there's your needle valve, okay? And I think I might have another video on how to adjust that guy. I'm not gonna touch it during this video because I don't need to touch it. So this is the little clip that I was talking about when I was pulling it off. You literally just press it and it loosens it up just enough, okay? To where you can slide it off. All right, so now we have the carburetor loose. Let's go put it up on the table and get this thing rebuilt. All right, so this kit comes with a bunch of stuff. It comes with a new needle, comes with a couple springs. It comes with your washers for this side, which we'll replace. It comes for the gasket. I believe the one up here. It comes with the one I actually do need right here, and it comes with a new jet. So I have rejetted this. I'm not going to use that. I just rejetted it maybe 8 months ago. So, in fact, I went with a different size to allow a little bit more fuel to come in. I believe it was. I can't remember exactly, but let's go ahead and tear into this thing, okay? Okay. Where'd my Phillips go? So first we're going to take off these 3 screws. Some dirt in this system. All right. So, just gonna wipe this thing down, see if we can get all that dirt out that's in there. And that usually means that your filter in your gas tank's bad, but I know it's not bad because I've just replaced it. So, what that means is it's been in there for a while since before I replaced it. So we're looking at replacing this gasket right here. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can pull it out and show you how squished it is. Alright, so I don't know if you can see this. Probably a little hard to tell. Compared to the brand new one. It's a little tough to tell. One's flat and one has a nice rounded bead all the way around. Okay, so old one, new one. So first things first, we're just gonna slide that guy back in there. Now I could stop there because that's all that really was wrong with it. Why stop there? You got the whole rebuild kit, let's keep going. Okay, I'll set that aside. So, one other thing I want to show you about this float. When this floats all the way up, you want it parallel, okay? Parallel to this line right here. I had it to where it was above. So what was going on? It was overfilling the tank. Actually, wait a minute. Where did I have it? I had it to where it was below, okay? So where it was actually bent down to here when it was full, but it wasn't actually full. It kept pushing to where this looked like it was up above, okay? So that would allow too much fuel to come in. So the adjustment is just basically push on it to where you get it to where it's pushing the needle valve properly, okay? So to adjust your float, you want it level when it pushes that little button in all the way, okay? Okay. When I had it originally, it wasn't level, okay? This thing was let's see if I can show you. This side is actually up higher. What it does, it allows more fluid to come in or fuel to come in before it actually pushes enough on that switch. Quick fix to that is you just pull down on it. Just give it a couple of tugs. You could get a screwdriver in there and try to just bend it a little bit, but you want it almost parallel. So now when it's full, it's not going to put too much fuel in there. It stops at the right spot, okay? So old gasket. Let's pull this one off. That one doesn't look too bad, but I have it, so I'm going to replace it. Yeah, I know some of you guys are saying, why don't you clean the whole carburetor, make it look good? Well, I could. And I might. I don't know. I think it's a dirt bike, guys. Okay, so we got that one. Moving on, I'll show you where this goes when we get back to it. Okay. See what else came in this kit. Ooh, they gave us a lot. Okay, so we are gonna take this bottom jet off. Now remember, I've replaced this one, so I'm not going to put a new one in. So, if I can find these numbers, there's no numbers in that one. So I went to a 118 jet. You can read that. I'll have to find out what the stock jetting is. Come on. Focus. There we go. I went to a 118 jet. Okay. I'll let you guys know what a stock jet is for the CRF, and I believe that's what they gave you here. So the stock one is a 40. Where did I put that? Okay, so the stock one that they give you is a 40. If you want to rejet it for a little more power, which I already did, you're going to put a 42 in there. Let's see if I can show you this. It's a little difficult. Let's see if we can show you. So yeah, that's a stock one. Okay, now don't know if you can read that. Where is the number? There it is, 42. Okay. So we're just gonna go and put the one I got back in because it's been rejetted, like I said. Okay, and then we're gonna put this guy back in. Okay. Now we are going to take this part out. So they did give me a new one of those, which I'm going to go ahead and use because I have not replaced it since I bought it. I bought the bike, I should say. I don't know what the difference is on these guys, but we'll put the new one in anyways. There's a spring that goes behind it, and they give you a new spring too. Looks like they give you a shorter spring. I don't know, maybe it's stiffer? Hard to tell. And it looks like there's a washer in there too. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and replace that washer too. Now, you could try to slide all that in there. Probably won't have any luck, but I recommend putting it on here. See how everything's lined up? Slide that back in there. Crank it down. In order to get this guy apart, okay, twist it to where you see this groove. You're going to push it, okay, and you're going to see this little cable. Pull it out, just let it slide up. Slide up to that hole. Oh, there you go. That is your throttle cable that pulls everything, okay? Let's go ahead and take this back to the table and open it up. Okay. So you can take the spring off, okay? This little clip is inside there, okay? All you gotta do to take that is you're just gonna, what do you need to do? It's been a while, guys. Yeah. Just pull up on it with a screw flathead, and there you go. It comes out. Okay. Oh, and the needle comes out too. So that's your spring. We'll set that aside. We'll use the new one. Okay. So there's little notches. Each one of those notches does something different. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, see those notches? I have the C-clamp. See, that's a C-clamp set on the second notch end. The reason for that is to get you a better throttle response. I believe the higher up you go, the less throttle response you have. The further down you go, the more throttle response you have. So we're gonna go ahead and put this new C-clamp that comes with it on the second notch, because that's where I had it set before. There we go. So we're going to put the new C-clamp on the new one, okay, because on the second notch. Okay, we'll set the old one aside. Okay, so in here, there's nothing to it. It's like a piston almost, okay? All you're gonna do is slide this guy back in, okay? Slide it back through the hole. This spring holds that in the location needs to be, okay? So we're gonna just go ahead and slide this guy back in. Magnetic tools. Doesn't quite help all the time. Maybe I can use this guy to set it in there. There we go. Oh. Why are all my tools magnetic? Double check, make sure that is the same size as the other spring. That might be the problem. All right, that is the problem, guys. For some reason, they gave me one that's longer. Not gonna help me. So I'll have to use the old one. Not a big deal. So this kit that they give might be for two different types of carburetor builds. Look at that. Yeah. Oop. That wouldn't happen when the spring's in there, guys. Okay, so this spring sits on top of that and holds it all down. Okay, that's that. We had a few other washers here. think they're for a different type of carburetor. This one does go on the top, so we'll put that in when we put back together. Let's go back over to the bike. All right, so there is a washer right there. Let's pull that guy out. Or not washer, I'm sorry guys, gasket. All right, we'll put the new one in there. That's that. Oop. The gasket just fell out. Very interesting. It is on the other side of the bike. So we're gonna go and do all this, and then I'll put that gasket back in. So you're just gonna push it down, okay? This is a little more difficult. You gotta kind of finagle everything. Got that hole right there. You're gonna come through just like this. Once you're in, there you go. Oh. Once you're in that hole, you're gonna slip, let the spring go. Now, you're gonna push it all the way down till that goes below and sits inside of there, okay? It's gonna look like something like this, okay? So I'll put that other gasket in once I get it all back in here. So we get the carburetor here. Okay, let's put this gasket here. And we're gonna fit this all the way down. So you could put a little, I don't know, oil or grease or something on this so it stays up here. They use some sort of glue, not a big deal. Slide this thing in, push it down, and then start tightening it. Okay, I got a few threads. Now you're gonna want this in the right orientation before you fully tighten it down. Okay, good. Now we're gonna hook up those hoses that we pulled off. Big hose goes in there, the little hose goes on here. Okay. A little tough for me to show you all this, guys, because my hands are in the way. I'll do my best. Okay, so I got that one on. Now let's try to get this big guy back on. Feed it in the correct location, because if it's twisted in the wrong location, it won't allow fuel to flow. Let's see here. Can I put this on? Will that help me? No. Alright, so now that I got all those hoses back in, I'm just going to slide it back over those threads. Okay. While we are still loose a little bit, it might be easier to put this boot back on. There we go. Put these two nuts back on. Hey, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and get it started up and get it tuned. Alright guys, so I think I got it tuned. I'm liking the way it sounds. Let's take it out for a ride and see how it runs. Alright guys, thanks for joining me on another episode of Off-Axis Builds. I got that carburetor rebuilt. Hope I explained it well enough. It was the first time I ever rebuilt a CRF 150 carburetor. I've done many on a Volkswagen and another on a 66 Ranchero and whatnot, but I've never rebuilt one of these guys, so that's why it took me a little bit longer to figure out where the parts were. Pretty straightforward. Again, got this off Amazon. It's about 18 bucks. So you can see that number there. Okay, I'll put the link down below. Hopefully this helped you guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell for upcoming notifications. Remember guys, to check out my new merch. I got a link down below. And remember, it's always built, not bought. See you in the next one, guys.